Hi you guys, it's Jenny with Planner Perfect, and today we're going to be talking about energy, how you can have more energy, what are some energy vampires, and how you can ensure that you are feeling your best so that you can attain what you want. Asked a question a little while back on my IG on some of the things that you guys are feeling is keeping you back from attaining your goals. And lack of energy was one of them. And as a mom of 8, I get you, I totally do. And I have some tips and tricks up my sleeve and a little bit of some insight on what you can do to ensure that you have energy for your day, that you are jazzed, that you have energy for your kids, that you've got what you need to go after what you want to go after. So if you're new to me, I want to introduce myself a little bit further. As I said, my name is Jenny Penn, and I founded Planner Perfect as a way for women to be able to write a better story for their lives, not just a life that you're living, just the everyday to-do list check off that you're living by your tasks, but rather you're scripting a day and writing a story that you want to live. You're including yourself in your life, and you're actually living a life that you want to live, and you're mapping it out so that you can live a life of intention and purpose and fulfill your dreams. And you're here not to just have a family, work, and then die. You have a specific calling on your life, as do your children. And you know, it's funny because we want to raise our children in order to know who they are, and yet we neglect ourselves. And that's something that I feel my mission is to help women remember who they are. And so let's go ahead and dive right in to some of the ideas that I wanted to discuss with you on what you can do and some of the things that could be zapping you of your energy. I have four of them. And the first one is not enough sleep. I know that sounds really, really obvious, but a lot of times we need to tweak it, figure it out, and make sure we're doing it. I think we kind of can get into this zombie type of thing, like this is how we are. We do so much. We're overtaxing ourselves. We're serving, and then we're just depleted by the time we go to bed. And it's not a good depleted, like, man, I kicked butt today. It's more like I'm depleted, used up, and my cup does not runneth over. It is like depleted. And I've been there where there's a difference between the two. In going to bed, like, I kicked butt and I'm exhausted and this is going to be an amazing sleep, to I'm going to bed, I'm exhausted because I'm drained, I'm tired, and I have no life. It's like there's two different ways that we can go to bed and be thinking about our day being tired. So, but make sure, number one, that you are getting enough sleep. I know that for me, I'd had to tweak it. I'd have to say, okay, let me try getting up at this hour, going to bed here, waking up here, going to bed here, waking up here. And I really kind of felt that I kind of have my rhythm. I was actually adding workouts to it as well, and found I got to tweak it because at first it was taxing my body too much because my body was completely not used to it. So I had to adjust. I had to listen to my body and I had to adjust to what it needed, and I did, and it worked. So right now I start 10 o'clock. I even have my phone remind me, it goes ding, 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 like that. And it reminds me that it's time to take off your makeup. It's time to brush your teeth. It's time to get in your pajamas and act like you're going to go to sleep and get going into the whole nighttime. Let's go to bed. And that's around 10. And so I found that I'm literally passed out by like 10:30. Sometimes it hits 11, but it's about 10:30, 11, and I wake up at around 6:30 every morning, no matter if it's a weekend, if I'm not working out, no matter what's going on, it's like 6:30 is when I wake up, and I feel great. So work around what is going on with your sleep and figure it out, and figure it out. That's the thing. Figure out what you need and get it. But as I move forward with more of these ideas, you may find that you don't need as much sleep as you thought you did once you correct these other things. So your menstrual cycle. I think it's important to pay attention to it. What happens to me in particular is once I do start my period, that day one, it's like it does kick me in the butt and it tells me to sit down. I mean, it's like you're not going to go hardcore today. You're going to take it a little bit more easy, and I listen to my body and I do it. But on day two, I'm back at it. I've got things to do, and I work out and get back into it. Actually, I worked out even on day one. I think that's why it kind of kicked me in the butt a little bit. But on day two, I went at it. I just went at it, and I did some things that I wanted to do and accomplish, and it just, I was motivated enough because it's something I really wanted to do when I did it, and it was great. But listen to your body. And your menstrual cycle can do that if you're not feeling well, of course, and things like that. So listen to your body and take the rest needed. I think in our roles, especially as mothers and caregivers, and we tend to ignore signs that our body is telling us. Make sure that you do. Make sure that you're listening, and quit fighting it so much. Find out why, tweak it as we go here, and then adjust. But your body is definitely telling you something. So negative thoughts, that's number 3. Negative thoughts, wherever you put your thoughts, that's where energy goes. And if your thoughts are negative, it's draining and it'll drain you of your energy. Keep hold of your thoughts. Have a gatekeeper of your thoughts, which is you. Make sure you know and be consciously aware what you're thinking about, because you'll be surprised. It could really be a lot of negative activity going on in there. And the more we think about it, the more we rehearse it in the mind, the more if something went wrong and we keep thinking about it, it will drain your energy. The more we allow other people to drain our energy with their negative vibes, with people that might be crossing boundaries, those kind of things are huge energy zappers. They take. So it's important to always be keeping in check who might be in your life that could be taking energy from you, how you can change things yourself so that you are not having that happen, because you can only change you. And so you're going to want to be looking at that. Is that going on? Do you have energy zappers? Is there someone in particular that could be taking your energy from you? So you need to make sure and be aware of it. Once you're aware, you can make the changes needed, whether it be boundaries, that's usually one of them, something like that, so that you are not in a state of low energy, because your energy is going to be going toward where your thoughts are. And if it's negative, it's going to flow right to there. So that's a huge one. That's a really, really huge one. Here's another one that I don't know if you've ever really considered, but you might be bored. You're busy, but you're bored. And you know what I mean by that? I've experienced this so many times in my motherhood. Being a mom of 8, I get it. It's like you're busy as crap. Okay, you are busy. If there's not a temper tantrum, then there's a toilet to clean for sure. If there's not this, then there's that. And it's just, there's a lot of things that you're doing, but you're bored. Within you, you feel like there's a part of you that you're not using. There's something that you might be feeling you wish you were doing, but you don't know what it is. You might feel lost. You might feel like I'm drowning. You might feel overwhelmed. Those are energy zappers. And just the mere fact that you're not using who you are and remembering you is going to zap your energy. It's just going to make you bored. It's going to make you sit. It's going to make you sit in the midst of chaos. It's going to make you second guess and you know, all of your choices, your life choices. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this wrong? What am I doing wrong? Who am I? Where am I? Where am I going? Are my kids even being raised well? I mean, all of those kind of things can lead us into low energy. And now that I've given you 4 different things that you might want to think about so that you can make changes, or here's some things that you can do to change it. So of course, make sure you get the sleep that you need. That's obvious. We talked about that. It's something that you need to tweak and work on. It's something that can be fairly simple, and it'll get more simple once you get the rest of the stuff figured out, if it applies to you. And I discussed this again, and that was with your menstrual cycle, with other little, if you're not feeling quite right or whatever. It's a matter of just listening to your body. When I first started working out, it was intense. My body was not used to it. I remember I was so exhausted and I thought something was wrong with me, but it was just something that my body needed to rest, and I was stressing it out too much. So you got to listen to your body, because it's definitely telling you something. So listen to it. It's perfect how God made all these, the way our bodies work and function. It gives us clues and cues to listen to. So don't fight against it or think there's something wrong with you. It just means that you need to listen to it and figure out why, and then listen to it. So don't fight against that if it's doing that. Don't fight against it. Listen to it and then make adjustments. Then again, of course, you are going to want to make sure that you're funneling your energy in a positive direction. You're going to want to make sure that you're a gatekeeper of your thoughts. You're going to want to watch them. You're going to want to, if something is bombarding you with negativity, then you need to, number one, quit ignoring it and pushing it down. You do need to look at it at face value, look at it, acknowledge it, and then almost like it was on a phone or a computer, because your mind is like a computer, your subconscious mind. You're going to have it pop up, look at it at face value, and go pop it to the side, and just say, I see you, I know, I hear you, and you ain't gonna bother me no more. Okay, but you got to be able to look at it. Maybe you need to cry over it for a minute. Maybe you need to cry and know that you still are in control, that you do have options, that you are enough, that you are capable, that is just your mind wanting for you to deal with it so that you can move forward instead of keep looking behind. So it's trying to tell you, look at me, this isn't who you are, this isn't the end, this isn't this negative self that you think you've gotten yourself all uptight about, thinking that this is you, is not. You are amazing, and that's why it needs to be looked at, because it was something that needs to be dealt with, something that you need to look at and understand that it is just the mind wanting you to process so that you can tick it away and move on and move forward to the new you, the new self, the new beginning, It's amazing. It's amazing, but you got to look at it so that the mind doesn't run loops. And so that's something that you're going to want to make sure of. And every time, just be a gatekeeper of those thoughts so that the energy isn't so zapped from you. Okay. Now here's the really fun one. And that really, to me, it is. And that is, and it will be to you too, because as a mom of many, and even a grandma now, where I take on my grandbaby every single day of the week, because my daughter works, but it's a matter of making sure that you are remembering you. Who are you outside of the role that you play? Motherhood, being your children's mother, is not your calling. When you understand that, I remember the first time when I realized that motherhood wasn't my calling, and then I decided that I was going to write a book. I was out of bed at like 4 a.m. because I was so jazzed. And once I knew who I was, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm going to paint again. I'm going to paint now. I can do that. And I don't have to feel bad or guilty about it. I can create a business off of what I know, off of what I've been doing all along, and blogging. I can actually do this now. And once you begin to have like hobbies and things that can turn into your purpose and your calling, and even make money from it because of what you do, you start to begin to, now your motherhood gets amped, because you're like, hey guys, hey, what's going on today? Because you're just, you're treating because when you're filled up, your cup runneth over. Now you're not going to bed completely depleted and zapped and everyone's taken from you, but rather now this comes first. You fill yourself up. You do your exercising first. You do you. So you do you shower, you feel good, you exercise, you do it, and it's not going to be easy, especially if you're a mom with little ones, but you're going to do it because you're not afraid of hard. You want it, so you do it anyway. So do the hard, because that's going to get you what you want. So go and even if you have to walk up and down the block for an hour because you got a newborn still in the bed with your husband or something, you get up early and you walk around the block, because that's what you do. If you're new to fitness, then go do it. It's good for you. You're going to feel better. And I assure you, it's going to be something that you're going to really appreciate. Then once you start to get in the groove, you can start to do more of a fitness thing that you like, whether it's riding your bike or joining a gym or something like that. But do you. So exercise, find out what you love, explore different things. Whatever you like, start diving in. Pretty soon, something's going to settle, and you're going to see exactly, once the dust clears of all this fun stuff, you're going to see what you're naturally going toward, what you're naturally good at, what you're bent toward, and you'll figure it out, and it'll present itself to you. And then you're so filled up with you and of you filling yourself up that it's going to flow over, and your motherhood's going to be so, it's going to take a complete turn. Because now you're not just drained, zombied, not dressed, overweight, tired, depleted, no boundaried, but you're planned. You are in control of your life. You know where you're headed. You know where you're going. You're grounded. You remembered who you were. Now you are this, and you're a mother, and you're your children's mother. But most importantly, you're this artist, writer, speaker, supporter, inspirer, coach, whatever. You will figure that out, but you're this is who you are. And then you're your children's mother, and you're a wife, or you're this or you're that, or you're doing this and this. So when you do that, your cup floweth over, and your energy isn't gone because you're not bored. You got things to do. You got goals to go and create. You don't even care if you're tired at that point, because it's a different kind of tired. It's not energy, it's just tired, but you go after it anyways because you know who you are and you're going after it. With littles, with babies, doesn't matter. Your family, you're going after it anyway. And the balance, it figures itself out because you're planned and you can choreograph everything around. And that is my tip for how to kick low energy in the pants, okay? That's my formula, and that's what I use. And I think the biggest one is finding you again and knowing who you are. Stop being busy without intention and knowing who you are. Stop that busy work of ticking off to-do lists, and that's the only satisfaction you get while raising kids, especially. I really have a heart for younger moms because I've been there. But it doesn't matter how old you are, because a lot of times we've missed that boat where we just, being mom was our calling, and now we're older now, the kids have season of where the kids are out, and now it's like, now what? Well, it still applies, okay? So that's what I have for you. Let's kick it in the butt. Let's kick it in the butt. And let's find out what full throttle energy is all about. And it's about caring about you. It's about listening to your body. And it's about setting up boundaries and being a gateway, being a gatekeeper of your thoughts, so that you watch where your energy does go. And you are, it's part of personal development. And it's very, very important in order to attain what you want and have energy to move forward into who you are going to become. Thank you for watching today, and next week there'll be another question answered on how to become your best version of you and how to conquer those things that are hanging you up to getting what you want. Until next time, you guys.